Gerard Kelly is an absolute legend, knows exactly what he is talking about and is amazing at answering questions on the fly. Always upbeat and getting us in a good mood. The man deserves a raise. Yeah, can we send this to my boss? I'm Gerard Kelly. I started my finance career working at Anderson's, where I worked in tax. I then moved to Ernst & Young, where I worked in corporate finance, and there I became an accountant and later a CFA charter holder. And I've since been training for 12 years. Back at school, I used to help the younger kids learn how to read. I had a year traveling. I spent 6 months in Belize being a teacher, and I think I always knew I wanted to be doing something where I'm teaching or training. My favourite part about being an instructor is that I get to have a little bit of fun. I get to stand up on stage, I get to tell the odd joke. Writing academic texts or research reports are great, but when you get up on stage and you get to teach it to people and have a bit of fun as well, that's awesome. The thing about finance that I particularly love to teach is accounting. I think accounting is super important, and even with just a little bit of knowledge, you can really get underneath a company's skin and find out about it. So I would invite everyone to get into accounting if they could. My one tip to future students would be to be all over the news. So read a decent newspaper or decent website or journal. If you find these things a little bit intimidating, then maybe start with a regular broadsheet newspaper and just read the business section. Maybe move on to the Wall Street Journal or the Financial Times. The Lex column in the Financial Times is absolutely fantastic. If I had to describe my teaching style in 3 words, I'd probably say energetic, enthusiastic, and accounting, because I just absolutely love accounting. One highlight from my training career that I'll never forget was I taught a particular student from a bigger European bank, and I taught him over a 4-week program, and he knew absolutely nothing at the beginning of it, no relevant background. And 2 years later, he came back and he was a teaching assistant for that same program 2 years later. That was the first time I'd really seen one of my students kind of graduate years later. It was fantastic to see that. Something about me that people would be surprised to know, when I was at university, I was the chair of the Dance Society and I taught salsa.